All right, Shalawam.
Shalawam.
First and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI.
double honors to the Lord Apostles of Great Millstone and salutations to the elect. We're the brothers of Great Millstone, man. We got the brothers from New Orleans. GMS New Orleans is down here in South Florida. Us brothers in Miami, are hosting these brothers, man, these beautiful brothers, man. Been very diligent for many years. The Lord, has allowed through His grace for us to come together in fellowship tonight, and Lord willing, be able to build in the spirit together over the course of this weekend. So, the YAHAWASHI shout for that. But yeah, man, as you see the topic, man, we in some exciting times, man. Hey, man, we basically entered into the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, if not already in it to some degree. All right, we see what's happening with the ICE raids and the deportations. With Northern Kingdom, and of course they're moving on Levi and Benjamin now, and we know that Judah is next. Okay, the scriptures talk about who shall rouse him up. Okay, the scriptures talk about how Judah shall be a terror to the land of Egypt, and so we are entering into a time that the scriptures speak about, man. You had these different Israelite groups over the past so many years talking about Jacob's trouble is gay, ain't no Jacob's trouble. Well, how do you explain what's going on right now on the earth, man? Okay, they straight up rolling up on Israelites, Jacob. Okay, which the 12 tribes of Israel are you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, all right, collectively you make up the 12 tribes of Israel, man. All right, started from the so-called Negro, the tribe of Judah, all the way down to Issachar. The Mexicans. We brothers already know the sign. All right, y'all make up the 12 tribes of Israel. So how do you explain what's taking place to our people prophetically, man? Okay, it's not Jake in trouble. Are they not? It's not brother tribe hiding and self-deporting. Is it not brothers coming out with articles and news of how they picking up Jake off the street and going to job sites and doing ICE raids and shit and packing them up on cars and trucks and boats and airplanes and just dumping them off in the middle of nowhere? Is that not what's happening? Go ahead, brother.
Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 22. It says, "Thus says the Lord, behold, a people cometh from the north country. A great nation shall rise from the side of the earth. They will lay hold, bow and spear. They are cruel, have no mercy. Their voice roared like the sea." Right? It says, "And they ride upon horses, set array as men for war against thee, O daughter of Zion." All right, it says, "We have heard the fame of thee. Our hands wax feeble. Anguish have taken hold of us, and pain as a woman in travail." All right, it says, "Go not forth into the field, nor walk by the way, for the sword of the enemy." All right, and it says, "And fear is on every side." All right, that's them rolling up on our people, them soldiers.
Yeah.
And army fatigue, different gear on, helmets, you name it. All right, and it goes on to say, "O daughter of my people, girt thee with sackcloth and wallow thyself in ash. Make thee mourning as for our only son." It says, most bitter lamentations for the spoil shall suddenly come upon us. See?
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, the times that we're coming into are coming suddenly. All right, this is why the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and the brothers on down have been warning of these things for years. Okay, all right, so that when it happens, you don't get caught off guard, man. But you have these other groups that have been out here, like the scriptures say, his watchmen are blind, man. Not blowing the trumpet, not warning the people, telling everybody things are gonna be okay, trying to build. Yeah, Jake trying to build communities.
Yeah.
Jake that know they Israelites trying to build communities in Babylon.
Soup
kitchens and built schools and shit, man. That's not the time we living in, man. Becoming marriage counselors and fucking making merchandise of the ministry, be on podcasts, all kind of different ways. That was that is and was and is fruitless, man. We see the times that we're living in right now, man. This is the time to be seeking YAHAWASHI, man. Okay, because that's the only way that we're gonna be able to make it out of here, man. All right. Yahweh said, "Watch and pray, lest that they come upon you unawares, man, because it's gonna come as a snare, man. What is happening in the earth is ramping up very, very quickly, man. All right. The things that back in 2012 and 14 that we were saying we would have to wait years and years for it to take place. We watching and it's taking years. We're not in that time anymore, man. Now we're in a time of things moving quick. Okay.
Gotcha. Appreciate that.
All right. I want to say one more thing, bro. Trump has been in office at least for this, for this second go around for going on 6-7 months. And look at all this shit that's happened, bro.
Yes. Feel like 5 years.
Right. It feel like 5 years done passed, man, but it's only been 6 months.
Yep.
Okay. So that goes to show you how quickly things can just move, man. And that's really the intent of the Lord, because the Lord really wants to bring us the kingdom, man. He really wants to bring this thing to an end, man. This wicked world and this wicked fashion of this world, he wants to bring it to an end so that righteousness can reign, man. And so that last days ago, it could be another, it could be 1,000 years bullshit, man. All right, we are at the door, okay? The things that Yahweh spoke about, perplexity of nations and distress, okay? Jacob's trouble, all these things that have been spoken of by the prophets is happening as we speak, man. We seeing it unfold, okay?
Anybody got something else?
I know what happened to this article too.
Oh, boy, kind of just to back the brother up. We've had years worth of events happen in these last couple of months.
Yeah.
That T attack in New Orleans, the lightning strike over the Washington Monument, the wildfires in the Palisades, extreme temperatures.
World War III.
Yeah. This is Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye the Lord Yahweh while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return unto the Lord Yahweh. And he will have mercy upon him. And to our powerful he will abundantly pardon. And ultimately, with these measures of time, seeing how these times are spiking up in prophecy, what does that call for ultimately? Us to come into the windows of repentance, because they're slowly but surely closing.
Right.
This prophecy is being fulfilled, but the timeline and the window is closing, because the scriptures also speak of a famine of the word.
Right.
Yeah. You got that.
Yeah, no. That was on point, man, because that's another thing that's very important to understand, man, is that with all these things that are taking place right now, man, hey, the brother, we was at class yesterday, the brother Samak, he was saying it like we may not have that much time to be out there teaching it, much longer, man. Any camp could literally be our last camp. That's how things are moving, man. Any camp could be our last camp. Anytime going to class, fellowshipping with brothers, putting up videos. Here it is. We with the Louisiana brothers. They from Louisiana. They drove all the way out here, man. Things are moving really quickly, right, man? This could be the last time, that we do this as brothers, man. They talking about sleeper cells, EMPs and shit.
Yeah.
The lights can go out, man. That's the time we're living in. We're not living in a time of gradualism and they've been saying that a long time. No, we're living in a time where the Lord is going to perform all the things that he said aforetime. Okay? In these last days, man. So it's beautiful that the brother brought up the famine of the word, man, because hey, that's one of the pending prophecies, man. They're talking about increasing surveillance, surveillance social media. YouTube is a social media platform, man. Online extremism, So these warnings that's going out, hey, if you ain't taking heed to them by now, hey, when shit hit the fan, ain't nothing we could do.
Right.
Ain't nothing we could do. Hey, it already went out, man. Hey, go ahead, let's bring out what y'all got, man.
Yes, add on to you. ICE is using facial recognition to identify, extremists or even illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
Through an app on the phone. They bring the phone to you and it scans you automatically identifies you if you've been over here illegal.
Huh.
So that's the road to the to the MOTB.
To the MOTB identification. You know, well, and they, over there in China, they got a social a credit system. You know, they got cameras everywhere surveying people, man. You think they ain't gonna bring that over here to America? Okay, more talks about Palantir, you know, surveilling people, collecting data on people, man. Okay, this is all just a what they call the proverbial Trojan's horse to bring these things to pass. Okay, that's the times we live in, not the time of party and bullshit and chase the bag, you know, and do things for clout. You know, that's not the time. That's not the time we live in, man. We're living in perilous times, as the scriptures say. You have something here, Mo?
Yeah.
So they want a carbon footprint of everything.
Yeah.
Everything traces back to you. All right. It's easy to find you. All right. Through the internet or whatever you're doing, you know. And like the brother going into, one of the main things they're gonna push is going to bring forth that is that mark of the beast, man. All right. Go ahead, you got that.
This is the book of Luke. Lord, you got it. It's Luke 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon.
Which we've seen. We've heard about solar eclipses and lunar eclipses. They're talking about abnormal solar radiation. You know, it's getting hotter literally by the day. Every day is hotter than the last. You know, record-breaking heat. You know, wildfires erupting all over the earth, droughts, tempests. You know, heat waves, dust storms. A lot of this stuff is going underreported too. A few years ago, back in like 2023, 2022, when these disasters was popping off, it was making news. Now it's so much happening. They just said, fuck it, just don't report it no more.
Right. Now they're even trying to basically say that they're gonna take away the satellite data that they use to predict the storms. I forgot how it is.
Because of the funding, because of the funding that Trump took back, they can't fund the forecast people can't fund to basically warn them.
Oh wow.
Because the funding
So
that he's taking.
so basically, like anything within the Gulf South region, like Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, they ain't gonna give you warning to
when it's hit.
like a Category 5 hitting tomorrow. That's when they're
gonna give you the warning.
Wow.
Damn.
They did the same thing with the wildfires out there in California.
Yeah.
They just cut the people insurance weeks before the wildfires took place.
Hey man, but that's part of Esau bringing that squeeze, man. He wants all out pandemonium so that he can bring forth the system, man.
Yes.
Okay. Even if that means that hundreds, thousands, 100,000s, millions of people got to die and suffer, he doesn't care, man, because he's the harbinger of death. Okay, we'll go back to that, Luke.
Gone. It's low enough, Salaki.
Got it, bro.
Like I say, also with that, the big beautiful bill that's going to Trump's desk to sign, there was an Edomite breaking down some of the parameters in it, and he said this is what he was saying, that it was going to cut funding, or limit operations FEMA could do. So if your city catches on fire, nobody's coming. If there's a flood, nobody's coming. Any natural disaster, you're pretty much going to be on your own.
And that was the whole setup for the Elon Musk dude with the Doge, with the government efficiency. It all coincides to the same thing, man. It's the what? Take back the funding, cut federal funding, jobs, and different things like that.
Yeah.
So they can basically put the funding out to give them the things that actually tell them threat assessments, different things like that, man. It's all strategically done, man.
Yeah.
This is Luke 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.
Right. The stress of nations with perplexity. That's definitely what's happening all over the world, man. Riots taking place, food shortages taking place, ice raids. People are. The state of the earth is miserable right now. Everybody can really feel just a down spirit, and it's a sense of anxiety. Like I'm not sure you know, what was going to happen next, which when you go to the word perplexity, you know, it goes into that.
Yeah, that work. You guys are going.
No, I was agreeing.
The word perplexity, it says to be without resources, to be in straits.
To be without resources. Does that not sound like them cutting off the benefits and, you know,
Yeah.
people don't know how they taking away food stamps.
Yeah.
They're taking away SNAP. They're taking away Medicaid. They're taking away this funding and that funding because it's in alignment with biblical prophecy. And really, what a lot of this is because these elites, you know, these rulers here in America are preparing for something, man. They're preparing for the transition, man. So whatever scraps they got to take away from these people to help fund that, they'll do that, man. Because they definitely ain't gonna come out their own pocket. They're not coming out their own pocket, man. So they got to take it out of your pockets. Okay.
It says to be left wanting, to be embarrassed.
To be left wanting, to be embarrassed, man. Why? Because the status quo has changed drastically, man. Life is not how it used to be 5 years ago. Which is ridiculous because 5 years ago was COVID-19. You know? How 5 years ago?
Man,
2020 was 5 years ago. It felt like yesterday though. But that was 5 years ago, man.
yeah.
Life is not the way it was 6 years ago or 10 years ago, man.
Days for the elect sake.
You know, the Lord has shortened the days for the elect, like the brother said, man. And the times are getting worse and harder and harder and harder. We are getting or approaching the end of this age, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. And call Halalyam YAHAWASHI for that because hey, we want to get the fuck out of here. We tired of this shit.
Yes.
Whether you prepared or not.
Yeah, good, calm.
It says,
Yeah, but the message is to prepare you. If you're part of the elect, Lord, what are we part of the elect? You give heed to the warning, and you follow the doctrine of YAHAWASHI. You walk in the Spirit. You know, you believe. You know, you'll be saved. But if you don't, you're gonna be destroyed. Okay, what's up, bro?
it says to be in doubt.
To be in doubt. Okay, everybody. If you notice, everybody's on edge.
Right.
I'm saying to be in doubt. People are not in the same spirit that they were before.
Right.
I'm saying that whole somewhat neighborly vibe when people are more friendly and you know open and meeting new people and that's done. You know, everybody's really becoming more and more tribal. If you're really paying attention to it, the scriptures say all flesh consorted to their like.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. The scriptures say all people shall go into their own people and flee into their own land when Babylon is destroyed. So you see that division is starting to happen more. Okay, everybody's choosing sides and pointing the finger at who's in the wrong.
Right.
Okay,
It says not to know which way to turn.
not to know which way to turn, man. Okay, because well, first of all, and we told y'all what time it is, man.
Right.
So at this point, if you're an Israelite, if you don't know where to turn, it's because you don't want to turn to the Lord. You really want to trust in Esau. But let's talk about, you know, specifically the nature and state of this world. People don't know what to trust anymore. They don't know what they don't trust in their government.
Right.
You know, they don't trust their own family members. Your families are divided. You know, they don't know what to believe in, man. So when people lose it, when they lose a sense of hope and expectation, they just gonna start going buck wild and trying to start basically taking matters into their own hands, man.
Yeah.
People end up breaking into each other's houses for food, you know, killing each other. Cannibalism is coming back. All these things are getting ready to manifest themselves in the earth, man.
That's right.
Okay. What's up?
Hey, can you read it again? I got something to back him up.
Okay.
Read it again.
Got one back here.
It says not to know which way to turn.
Not to know which way to turn. This second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So when you're in doubt, you have, if you're running to and fro, you're confused. You don't know which way to go. Like the brother alluded to earlier, the family word is going to hit. We're going to be off the block and off the camera.
Mm-hmm.
People going to want to know what's going on. Want to seek answers, and not be able to find it.
Right.
A state of confusion.
Yeah.
Okay. So with resources being lacked, all right. Well, what do I do? It's going to present the opportunity for everybody to take that see him.
Yeah.
Right.
They
Right.
create the problem, get a reaction from the people,
Mhm.
come with the solution.
Exactly. Yeah.
Got the Jerusalem. When people lose it, they lose it.
Mhm.
Just to add, it says not to know which way to turn. And you so-called Christians, you don't have the answers. You supposed to be learning from your pastor, right? But he ain't telling you the truth.
Right. He ain't telling you
Right.
what time you in, man.
Right.
They talking about marriages and be a strong woman and whatever Christian. I don't know what Christians talking. What do Christians
A
talk
lot
about?
of these churches on English.
What do they talk about, bro?
Yeah.
You know, dating advice, like what do they say? You know what I'm saying?
Christian mingle.
Christian
Right.
mingle, like Christians don't really got nothing to say, man. You know, the only time they got something to say is when it comes to coming up against the Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
All right, but if it was really about goodness and righteousness, like they try to Christians try to play that moral high ground shit that they do. You know, they would be calling out what the fuck Trump is doing, man, and what these different technocrats and elites are doing, man.
Mhm.
But for the most part, y'all quiet, man, because really y'all all of the world, man. Okay, all you Christians are of the world. All these atrocities is going on, being done by the government, being done by these nations and these elites and technocrats. Y'all don't got nothing to say.
Mhm.
Okay, the only real resistance that's truly happening on earth is through Great Millstone. I'm just gonna keep it real because you other Israelite groups, y'all got y'all head in the gutter too, man.
That's right.
You know, just keeping it real, man. The brothers of Great Millstone been talking about the mark of the beast for as long as anybody can remember, man. The apostles and elders of Great Millstone have been bringing this out forever.
That's right.
Okay, martial law. And when everybody thought it was a joke and it was a conspiracy theory, and it was y'all used to make them little goofy ass troll videos back then on YouTube, man. Now everybody's talking about the mark of the beast. Now everybody talking about martial law and what the government is doing in World War III. But before it was a conspiracy theory and the apostles were crazy, right? But now everybody's saying the same exact thing that the elder apostles been saying for decades, man. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, so look, now everybody gonna have to face the reality of prophecy, man. You're either gonna fall on the right side of prophecy, or you're gonna fall on the wrong side of prophecy. The majority of our people, and of course the rest of you heathens, okay, are gonna fall on the wrong side
Right.
and get put to death. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, more on that.
This one more says to be at loss mentally.
Mhm.
When you go to the Strong's definition, that's the plague of the mind.
Right. They to be at a loss mentally, I mean you lost your mind.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose their mind, man.
Yes.
Okay. Scripture say men's hearts failing them for fear, man.
Mhm.
Okay.
Love miniature wax cold cycles.
Mm-hmm. You know? Y'all brothers got anything?
Go ahead, Bob. You got it.
Kind of just to back up what the brother was saying about how, as things get worse out here, people don't know which direction to turn. On top of that, you've got Esau coming with AI, and he's heavily putting this deception on people where he's got these people so divided that there's no chance of them coming together. And that's when he's going to make his strike, and then what? Come with that solution, which is ultimately going to be the MOTB. But this is Isaiah 24. I'm going to read 10 to 11. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. And we know Babylon in the Hebrew is what? Babal or confusion. So America is broken down, which we can see it's breaking down economically, morally, militarily, on every level, that no man may come in. Verse 11, there's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And we know wine can be symbolic for what? Ideologies, answers. So what? People crying for answers out here. But what? They're not finding any because the joy is darkened and the mirth of the land is gone. The situation is getting worse, and it's only going to get worse from here on out. So these people are going to become more unstable from here on out. You're about to really see that dog eat dog mentality, that Jacob's trouble mentality, a time worse than any other out here.
Yeah, the Lord got the world in this chaotic spirit like this, man. He mustered in a host in a battle with wars and different things, so what? He can ultimately the Lord got the minds of the kings like the rivers of water. So he's working on Trump. He's that great puppet master that's getting these other kings to do these things and implement these laws and injustices and you know these unrighteous decrees. All right, that what it has to be a chaos in order for what? For them to perform their enterprise, man. All right, but this is Isaiah 33 and 14. It says the sinners in Zion are afraid. Many people, when you don't have an answer, like the brother said, give me anything but the plague of the heart. When your heart is plagued, you don't have answers. People is nervous. They, you know, the deportations coming on. They hide the family members.
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty, man. All right. It says fearfulness, like the brother has said, has surprised the hypocrites, man. And a lot of these Christians are hypocrites. Anybody outside of the men that serve the Lord, you are a hypocrite, man. Period, man. You're a hypocrite. Okay?
Yeah, add starvation on top of it.
Then you add that. That's why I tell you in Jeremiah 30 that the face is waxing with pebbles, man. That's fair. You got it, bro.
Yeah. Hey, the lights gonna go out.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about cyber attacks, EMPs. You know, it's different blackouts that have taken place around the world. You know, these different countries, even parts of America. They talk about the grid failing. The grid is outdated.
Mm-hmm.
When something is outdated, that means that they got to be replaced.
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
It's about to go. Something is outdated. That means it's about to go. You know what I'm saying? So understand, it's really all orchestrated, man. They want to completely just demolish this current status quo to rear up a new one.
Yeah, that's the vice they implement.
Yeah.
NWO, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep on using certain climate, what they the fight against climate, amongst other things. That's all vices that the Satan use. All right, to what? Implement is NWO, man.
Climate control.
It's new climate control. It's new world. You know, you got it.
You mentioned this earlier. I'm gonna get it in the NLT, but I'm gonna read the KJV first. This is Isaiah chapter 19 and 17. It says, "And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Most High, the Lord of hosts, which he has determined against it." Yeah, everybody's scared. Like your brother said, you know, he started with the northern kingdom, then he went up to Benjamin and Levi and Judah's last. But this is the NLT. It says, "Just to speak the name of Israel will terrorize them, for Yahawah, the Lord of heaven's armies, has laid out his plans against them." This goes back to, you know, Revelation 12 and 12. They know they have a short time. They know the men on the highways and hedges is the end of their kingdom. So, you know, you got celebrities, which most of them are cowards, but at least they'll say, you know, we're Israelites, we're the 12 tribes of Judah, all of this madness. And it's really getting to these people, it's getting under their skin. They see they're at the end of their kingdom.
Judah's hand will be in the neck of his enemies. The tents of Judah will rise first. Right. So that's why, you know, as brothers always say here, the northern kingdom gets it first, but the southern kingdom gets it the worst. They're going after the northern kingdom right now, but they're especially going to start hitting Judah in the southern kingdom, because that's the one that's rousing that lion, that's rousing up that energy out here. They're not taking away from the rest of the tribes.
But it's just prophecy.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna happen.
Yeah, real quick. It's Jeremiah. Real quick, get back. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together." And we know that the northern kingdom went into captivity first. Judah followed right behind it. So what's going on right now? Nothing new under the sun. Esau's bringing that wrath upon the northern kingdom. And you got civil unrest, uproars of the people happening in the midst of it now. While Judah's sitting, the southern kingdom sitting back, cracking jokes, laughing, without the recollection of knowing you're next on deck.
Right, exactly.
That's why the scripture refers to this place as spiritual Assyria, just like it's spiritual Egypt and Babylon. Right. That's the captivity of all the tribes.
Yep. Yep, it says, "And all that took them captives held them fast, what we have not going on right now. Like Dr. did a video on it, Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz, where you're surrounded in an actual, say the word, gulag camp, which is basically you're surrounded by gators.
Yeah,
So
right in the middle of a
Nowhere.
swamp, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a swamp in the middle of nowhere. It's a fucking concentration camp, bro. With alligators and pythons swimming in the water, bro. That's crazy as hell, man. But hey, the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Have we brought that piece up?
I got it.
Go ahead, bro.
But you can say something. Josh.
They made prison. They made prison. The last 2 months has all been about prison. Even I brought a video. They've been talking about renovating the old Alcatraz, the original Alcatraz in California. They're going to renovate it and open it up and use it. Right. This all it's been about prison talk. Right. Even on the us, you had 11 inmates escape by what? It's been going on for like a month or something.
Yeah, you got still got one loose.
Still got one loose. Even with that guy loose, what they've been talking about in Louisiana, tighten up the grip on inmates and the jail policy, man.
Right.
All right. That's for you Israelites out there, really.
Right.
Right, bro. Jeremiah.
Really, I'm gonna say one more thing, because it's like they always say Louisiana's a prison state. Well, America's gonna be a prison. It is a prison country.
Yeah.
Out of all the countries around the world, the most incarcerated are here. And guess who that the most incarcerated is? You Israelites, man.
That's right.
So it's easy for this man to come down with the hammer even more.
Yeah.
All right, just aim for you.
Yeah.
I'm God. I'm going. I know y'all can say this is Isaiah 42 and 22. It said, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for prey. You know what I'm saying?
See, the large amounts of Israelites are in the prison. Started with Judah, Northern Kingdom. All right, got some Gad up in there. All right, but but most of it makes up you. You make it up out of everybody. They got Edomites in there. You got a little 2-3 little Moabites in there.
Yeah.
But mostly you Israelites, man, because you're a big business. You make billions and dollars for billions and billions of dollars for the prison and industrial complex, man.
Yep.
Nigga don't want to go get a job
Slave labor.
making $20, $24, but going there and work for 33 cents a day.
Yes.
All right.
Why? Let me read this in the NLT. He said, but his own people have robbed and plundered, enslaved, imprisoned, and trapped. They are fair game for anyone and have no one to protect them,
Oh, man.
no one to take them back home.
Hey.
So the captive exile here said to be loose, but those that are men what? Of the Lord. That's what sign and crime.
Yes.
All right, Isaiah 61. And America is a prison. All right, we're in prison too through these jobs. All right, the certain laws of the land under Caesar laws. We're in prison, man.
Yeah.
Right? You're not until Yahweh shall redeem us according to Deuteronomy 68 and buy us back. We're in prison.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Isaiah 61 it says, open up the prison
Prison.
that are bound.
And those that are liberty to those that are captives, man. So we're the only ones saying we got to get the hell out of here. All right. We're praying that the angels look up for your redemption drawing nigh. And that's the way the Lord gonna redeem us, man. The same way he went and look.
Prisoners of hope.
Yeah, we're prisoners of hope. But this whole system is a prison system, man. Through the laws, all right, the legislation, this everything is fucking just in imprisonment, man.
Yeah.
Set against Jake. Huh?
Yeah.
It's set against Jake.
Yeah. And they're gonna put the icing on the cake with this Mark of the Beast, man.
That's it, brother.
You know?
The total lockdown.
Yeah, the total we talk about the concentration camps and stuff like that, man. They get ready to make these cities and these little inner city neighborhoods that Jake is in into open air prisons, man. They just really waiting for either one false flag or a series of different events.
Yeah, serious false flag.
A series, and it might not even be at this point. Some of this shit could be real, man. Some of it could be real, man. Especially with all the pressure that Jake is under, man. Jake, bro, and even Edomites, man. A lot of you Edomites are gonna start feeling it too, man. Y'all really with these Edomites, they think that their government is really with them. When they find out that their government is really not with them, they're gonna go out, guns are fucking blazing, man.
Taken from
And that's gonna justify Esau really, really deeming the regular American citizen, whether black, white, whatever the fuck you want to call it, as a fucking terrorist or as a potential threat. So now we gotta have robots, we gotta have cameras everywhere, drones, and you know what I'm saying, and the light can only be on for a certain amount of times. You can't have access to this, and that, and third, unless you're identified. You can only have so much of this. You can only have so much of that.
15 minutes.
15 minutes in. Yeah, it's gonna be like that, man.
Yep.
In America, in the United States of America, and different parts of the globe as well, man.
Because at the world, at the wealth, do that.
Yeah.
Watch it carefully. At the wealth, it's a certain guy, Edomite, bald head with the glasses.
Mm-hmm.
He said by 2030, by 2030, they want all humans wearing 3 uniforms.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
3 uniforms. In the movie Demolition Man, they had everyone was wearing the same. So yeah, 3 uniforms. Gonna do away with meat. To give you want you eating lab grown meat,
Wow.
bugs.
Uh-huh. Wow.
So they saw with that movie. Even the guy, his name was Yuval Noah Harari.
Yeah.
He spoke on it. Say, look, the God of the Bible we don't need him anymore.
Right.
We can do it better than him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You did say that. Yeah.
Esau, man.
Yeah.
Ezekiel sitting to see the
See that.
he is the Most High.
Right.
He's only a man.
Con. You saw that? You saw that, Jake?
Jeremiah 37.
Yeah.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7. A lot.
3:6.
God. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 6.
3:5.
Let me read fast.
Since we talking about
Y'all different, bro. Just
I'm gonna start at 4. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 4. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all 12 tribes, man. See? Hey, y'all different Israelite. ISUBK, Jacob Trouble is gay. Y'all got some explaining to do, man. This nigga said Jacob Trouble is gay.
Don't listen to them niggas, man.
Bro, y'all got some explaining to do, man. Bishop Nathaniel and IUIC, y'all got some explaining to do. They talk about, ain't gonna be no time of trouble. Y'all was getting grilled by the Hamite, was it a Benjaminite or y'all remember years ago?
Yeah,
It was Benjaminite, yeah.
Benjaminite.
He was grilling your ass. He was trying to circumvent the question, man. Hey, now you got some explaining to do. Y'all got some explaining to fucking do, man.
That's right.
Okay, all you niggas on the comment board, 6 to 12 months ago, 6 months to a year ago, all over the comment board talking about ain't no Jacob's trouble. This y'all got some fucking explaining to do now, man. Okay, and I could guarantee a lot of y'all was you internet keyboard warrior ass fucking Negroes, man, of the tribe of Judah, because Judah be complacent like that, man, thinking nothing's gonna happen until it fucking happens, man. Okay. Hey, now y'all starting to see, hey, like the brother said, Northern Kingdom first, Judah worse. Now it's gonna be your time to have to deal with it with the rest of the tribes, man. You're gonna get roused up. How are you gonna explain that? How are you gonna go? Where is it in the scriptures that say the 12 tribes won't go through a time of trouble before they get saved? What prophecy is that? You got some explaining to do. That's Jeremiah 30. That's Daniel, the 12th chapter. That's 2 Ezra 15 and 16. That's where the explanation is at. Okay? Which is what brother's been trying to tell you niggas the whole time, man. Ezekiel. Okay? When thou seest a sword come upon the land, somebody get that precept, man. You know? They set a man of the nation, to be a watchman, and he warned the people if they take not warning, the blood gonna be upon their own head.
Yes, bro.
You had the rest of that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 30. And inside of that beautiful bill that we're talking about,
Yeah.
it's pure Jacob's trouble.
That's it.
They got a lot of stipulations, like the brother Wright was going into it. There's a lot of things in there that's gonna make people's lives miserable. Just like it says in 2 Timothy 3rd chapter, perilous times. Because Medicaid,
Yeah.
all these things. Won't be able to go here, go there, unless you have that. Yeah, that's it, bro.
If I could add,
Go ahead.
in Revelation, he's the red horse, which is to take peace away from the earth.
Get the 6th chapter.
All right. And when you take peace, what's on the opposite end of peace?
War.
All right. chaos. And that's his job. That's why he taking all those luxuries and those things that had Jay content. And now what? Jay gotta rise up. You know, the nigga woman they gonna be a whirlwind in themselves when ain't no food stamps and things coming in for them children, man. That's a whole nother element. Nobody is thinking of that.
Yeah.
And then the men gonna come out there behind the women and get slayed, man.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna it's a domino
effect.
You got it.
Because he's not a man of the law, so he doesn't have no understanding of what the hell is going
A
on.
woman go, you get out.
And that's why the brother brought that word of perplexity. Yeah, to be at loss with oneself, not knowing which way to turn.
Yeah,
You the head of the household, but you are not a man of the Lord. So one woman looking at you like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna eat? The kid's up here crying with tears running down their eyes.
yes.
So he reacts as off emotions and he goes attacking inside of someone else's houses. He's killing and everything like this. Then he's gonna eventually get his ass killed.
Yeah.
Forget that C here.
Yeah, that's right, bro.
That's getting killed.
Yes.
That's getting killed.
Yeah.
That's like you getting euthanized. That's a free kill for them.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the movie Belko Experiment and different things like that, they could kill you whenever they're ready, man. That's a free kill.
Yeah.
Damn cattle. That's why they call these people going. What Rabbi Finkelstein call going? They're going. It's just cattle. They slaughter you whenever they get ready, man.
That's right.
Yeah, y'all got it, bro.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 5. But thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace.
Is that not what we seeing? You know, the kids were at the graduation and they're trying to hear it early. That's that. We told y'all, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Go ahead, man.
Verse 6. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child.
Right. When men don't get pregnant and give birth. Okay. Go ahead.
Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail.
Right. So men gonna be grabbing they loins, their abdomen, screaming like they a woman getting ready to give birth. What could be taking place in the earth that it will cause a man to do that?
Right.
Okay. Calamity, man. Trouble. Okay, distress.
Yes.
You know, go ahead, bro.
See, men shall well.
Men gonna be out here screaming for their life, man.
Shall well.
Ah!
Shall well as women in it.
Yeah.
Yes, brother.
Yep. God. It says, and all faces are turned into paleness.
Right. Like them old cartoons, Looney Tunes, and Tom and Jerry and shit. You know, where the color leaves their face. Why? Because they're afraid. Okay. All right. They're gonna look out into the world and just see hopelessness. All right. Go ahead.
Yes. Verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
That's right, man. So that's the time of Jacob's trouble, man. A time unlike any other time in history. It's gonna be that bad. Oh, but we already went through trouble and it's gonna be worse than what we've been through already.
And that's what they were saying when that Benjamin was grilling his ass.
Yeah.
We said they deal all the time with trouble like that. Explain Daniel 12 and 1 then.
Right.
But that goes right in hand with that.
That goes right hand in hand with salvation.
Right.
That's the thing. According to the Bible, when the Lord is getting ready to come back and deliver his people, there it's going to be a time of trouble. That's what the Bible says. So what time is that? Okay. When is that going to happen? Is it going to happen? Is it happening now?
Right.
Is it getting ready to happen? Are we seeing it brew up? Okay. The answer to that question is yes, clearly, man. Okay. And it's going to be worse than 70 AD. It's going to be worse than the transatlantic slave trade. It's going to be worse than how they took down Gad and Reuben. You want to know why? Because they're going to have this fucking technology backing them, man.
Right.
Okay? Esau's coming down with great wrath because he knows that he has but a short time. This nigga's coming down with a fucking attitude, man. because he knows he's guilty. He knows the whole world hates him, man. He knows that he's gone around the world and fucked everybody over, man, even his own kind. So with that in mind, and he knows that the world has basically gotten privy to him, the only option he has, because the smoke and mirrors ain't working no more, is the sword. That's the only option he has. Now he got fucking killer robots and drones and shit, weapons that can shoot you from fucking outer space. Okay, now he got concentration camps and these different devices that he can use, man. So he's gonna use that shit. He's the bloody man. He's the violent man. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. He's the Most High's pit bull whooping stick. This is who he is. Okay? You know, you think these crackers, bro, do you think they don't see Jake on the common board, Shalawam, and, you know, that's right, and I'm of the tribe of Judah, you know, all over these platforms, on Facebook and YouTube and all these different social media outlets calling themselves Israelites. You think they don't see us out there teaching? You know? You don't think they see the psychology of Jake is becoming more and more fuck Esau? They see it. They can sense it. They can sense that's happening all over the world, man. So they're not just gonna go out without a fight, man. They're gonna come with the hammer. That's their nature. They are a violent people. Okay? And the people that they want to target the most is the people that's on that 12 tribe side. Okay? And the reality of the matter is that the majority of our people really deserve this shit. Because the prophet's been out here telling y'all to repent. You don't want to repent. You would still rather, you know, be an African American. You still want to drink the wine of Babylon. Okay? That's right. Rather than turn to YAHAWASHI. So now you gotta feel the wrath of the Lord. Okay?
It's like the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Right. A time of trouble unlike any other time. Okay, again, what time is that talking about then? Talking about the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and they've had this shit on the book for years, man. What does Samak always say? Operation Garden Plot, Rex 84, King Alfred Plan,
Project Megiddo.
Project Megiddo.
That's the fifth organization.
Yeah.
You know,
Project Blue Beam.
come on, they've had these things written out, man. They've plotted these things for years and years and years and years. You think they're not going to, you know, act on it?
Never let a good price go to waste.
Yeah. Of course they gonna act on it, man. They already don't like your ass.
Another one too, Project Zypher.
Oh, that was they was talking about that during COVID, man.
Yeah.
You know, Project Pogo and Polo and Project Zypher.
You see it happening too. You see in your local cities, different cities you stay in, all of a sudden the lights going off. They're blaming on the cat in the tree and different shit, birds and shit. Meanwhile, they doing anything on purpose for that day to snatch up people like us that talk about the truth and know what's going on. They have plans on snatching us up. Man.
Yeah.
You know?
With that area where they did a whole, they said they was running a test and shut the whole
Yeah.
area down. They said we got to shut the whole city lights down to run a test. What are you talking about?
Right. What kind of test? What kind of test you gotta run to where you gotta even out lights
And platinum, yeah.
You know, what kind of test you gotta run?
Use the whole day.
For a whole day.
For a whole day.
What kind of that's strange work.
City, not a block, not 2 blocks, not a little neighborhood. The whole city.
Without lights for a whole fucking day.
Yes, bro.
For a test. What type of test are you running?
Without saying lights. What work you doing without saying lights or electricity on? How you even saying?
Right.
Like it's just what we doing? Who working?
Wow, man. But hey, that's the time. That's where we are. This is where we are, man. Okay. And we're gonna need the Lord to get us the fuck up out of here, man.
That's right.
Okay, we're gonna need the YAHAWASHI to work miracles, plural. All right, not a miracle, miracles. All right, on an international level, in order for us to get the fuck up out of this place, man. All right, how bad things are gonna get, man. You know, ain't no running water, ain't no food coming in, ain't no jobs. You know, it's crazy out here in these streets. People breaking into each other's houses. You know, hey, we gonna need how about YAHAWASHI? Persecution is coming. Brothers, brothers might, the times we coming into brothers gonna have bounties on. We could potentially have bounties on our heads, man. It's really good. It's really like that in the times that we're in, man.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about this yesterday, man. Brothers getting up in another country, man. You know, hey, we could be out at camp and them crackers fucking roll on us, man.
Bring the penny with it.
You know, and put us in a van or some shit.
Yeah.
You know, bring us before whatever mayor or governor. We got to testify, and then they just deem us guilty or some domestic terror threat or some shit. Especially with all this stuff going on with Iran and Israel and China and all this other shit. You know, and just fucking and we just gonna put you on this plane and just ship your ass off somewhere or a boat somewhere.
That's what they said heard from
You know.
Because I think for one of those bills, you don't have due process anymore.
Right.
You don't have the right to go get a lawyer and try your case.
Right.
You already deemed guilty. All right.
And Trump did say when he was talking to that El Salvadorian president, yeah, you know, we're sending migrants here, but maybe we have to start sending some of our homeborn American criminals here as well.
Well, they gonna snatch you gang niggas up too. You niggas that run around in these gangs, you screaming gang all day from this block, this street. These old silly ass names you give yourselves, gonna snatch your ass up too, man.
Yeah.
They gonna see you over there at the Walla Walla some goddamn what. All right? Gitmo.
Yes.
All right? They're gonna send your ass out there with them alligators at, man.
Yeah.
Right? And that one of you niggas that play told me. I said, run. They gonna put that. I can see them. They're gonna put that potato sack on you niggas' head, put you on the plane, land you out there in the Everglades, and you gonna jump your black ass out there thinking it's time to run. He gonna hit a pool full of sharks. I mean, not sharks, gators, man. I seen them yesterday when they Trump went there. I think 2 days ago. They did an aerial view with the drones. It looked like 1,000 alligators just waiting. And they all pointed to the prison too, just looking, you know. But I can see one of you niggas running. You think it's freedom?
Hey, Gator bait coming back, man.
Right.
Hey,
the scripture.
Did not Pharaoh throw the children, the Israelite boys, and throw them in the river? You know, the Nile River was known for having the Nile crocodile, which is supposed to be related to gators as part of the family, but not here nor there. All these ancient cruel methods of torture and oppression are coming back, man. The scriptures call Esau the Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, man. The ancient Assyrians were known for brutal tactics, man.
Rome was known for torture mechanisms. All these torture devices you see, they was doing that back in Rome, man.
Yeah.
All that shit you see on Hostel and shit, they all them
Yeah.
They were doing that shit in Rome.
Yeah. The crucifixions, lynchings, fucking pulling people apart with horses, cutting people, hewing people in pieces, beheadings, public lashings and shit.
Cutting the bitch out with the stomach.
Bro, all of that is coming back and more, man. Okay, they got microwave guns now. They got sonic weapons, man. Okay. Esau's perfected his craft of being a damn devil, man.
That's right. Alligators too.
I got you one too, man.
This is Psalms 79:2. It says the dead bodies of thy servants have been given to to be meat unto the fowls of heaven,
Mm.
the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. What's those damn alligators, man?
Beast.
Right? Their blood had they shed like water around about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. See?
Yeah. It's really like that. It's really like that, man. Okay. This is no joke. All right, but hey, we believe, you know, when YAHAWASHI, he's gonna protect us, man. And that's the only way we're gonna be able to make it out of here. And you got these idiots, you know, of dead body and Satan talking about, oh, ain't no miracles and ain't no signs. How are we gonna be able to make the fuck out of here? What are we gonna do? Only thing we can do is trust in the YAHAWASHI, man. Okay, we're gonna need the Lord to feed us during the time of famine. We're gonna need the Lord to give us drink during the time of drought. All these things you gotta understand, all these things are gonna happen at the same time. Everything we've been talking about, the famines and the droughts and the heat waves and all the Jacob's trouble and weather catastrophe, that's all happening at one time. It's all gonna happen at the same time, man.
Polycrisis.
That's right.
Polycrisis, man. Okay,
Black Swan.
persecute black swan events, man. Okay,
Text.
T attack. It's all. So we're gonna need YAHAWASHI's divine protection. We're gonna need spiritual power. The angels, you know, our brothers did. You know, I know I did a video years ago, man. Be prepared to meet your guardian angel. They call you guardian angel, man. You know, the scriptures talk about the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, man.
That's right.
And there's times in the scriptures where you had different believers that was on the run, like Mary, you know, YAHAWASHI's mother and his father. The angel had to come and guide them, you know, in different situations, man. Lot and Sodom and Gomorrah, the angel of the Lord had to come and guide them. Okay, so situations like that are gonna happen, man. You know, miracles. We're gonna need this stuff to get through what's coming. That's the only way. All right, now you know it's still gonna be martyrs in different situations like that, but for the most part, we believe that the majority of the elect will be alive and well on the earth when the Lord comes back, which means that we're gonna have to have eat and drink and all of that stuff. The scriptures talk about Isaiah 4:1. So, you know, and a woman shall be saved in childbearing. You know, the scriptures talk about women being with child being saved. You know, old and young, you know, people and the blind and the lame people that's disabled. So the Lord gonna have to provide some kind of provision.
Yeah.
In these times, that's the only way.
Yeah.
You know, but if you can't accept the fact that Jacob's trouble is here, you don't want to believe in miracles. If that's not something that you can wrap your mind around, hey, you're gonna fold, man.
That's right.
You're gonna get caught off guard, man. You're gonna fold. Okay?
Now, prior to that judgment, prior to that happening, judgment must start at the house of the Lord.
Right.
There have to be a something happening in order for the Lord to deliver us.
Right.
Right? He's
Exactly.
just gonna come get us. There's nothing is going on with us, right?
Exactly.
So technically, that would upset prophecy.
Right.
So it gotta be some type of what? Some type of force against. Yeah, it gotta be some type of demonstration.
Danger.
Danger.
Yeah.
Right? It have to be it speak about in Timothy that it should be perilous times.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And the only way for us to be delivered is that we must go through those straits, man.
That's right.
That was positioned of difficulties.
That's right.
Right? Now this is Matthew 10, because y'all brothers was talking about it in 17. It says, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake. And you know once Edom get their hands on, you know who they want. They want the men of the Lord.
That's it.
Let's stop playing games here.
Yeah.
All right. They want the men who is a threat to their what? Their NWO.
Right.
They don't care about these other people that's with it. Everybody else is with it. You got it.
No, I was just gonna say, really, the last one's really standing as far as resisting this beast system is really going to be the men of the Lord.
That's right. That's it.
The believers. That's it. Everybody else is going to fold. The scriptures say in the Revelation of 13th chapter, it says that all those that were not written in the book of life are going to worship the image of the beast, man.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not of the elect, you're gonna fold. That's it, man.
That's right.
All right. Everybody who's not of the Lord's flock is going to fold. one kind of way or another. They either gonna fold and just bend the knee or try to go out on literally on their sword, man.
Yeah.
You know, on some carnal type shit. You know, but everybody else is gonna fold. Only one's really just gonna stand firm is the elect. Okay, so they're gonna cut. They like the brother said, they're gonna come after the men of the Lord. They're gonna come after the believers. They're gonna come after brothers' families, children. All of it's gonna happen, man. But we know that the Lord said He gonna lift up a standard too.
Yep.
Okay, but we have to be prepared for whatever it could happen. You know, whether we have to, you know, go out on, you know, as martyrs, or whether the Lord, we got to deliver us, we got to be with whatever the Lord got going on, man. Because at the end of the day, we have it on our mind as it is now not to take that fucking shit. Okay? Lord willing, the Lord put the spirit upon us not to take the chip. And then he like the scripture say, I will keep thee from the hour of temptation. May the Lord put the spirit upon us to resist even unto death, man. You know, so we could get saved, because when the Lord comes back, He gonna rain fire and brimstone on everybody who succumbed, man, who bit the knee. Everybody who wanted to worship the image of the beast and take his mark and a number of his name are gonna die in the lake of fire, man. We don't want no smoke with YAHAWASHI, man.
That's right. It says in Revelation 16 chapter, those that take the Karagim shall receive a grievous sword.
Yeah.
You got that. Hey,
So I can
Yeah, let me just finish this off, just to make a better point. The last thing they got to do, the last vice Satan have that he could possibly do, is to introduce the men of the Lord. Give me that word right there.
Traduce the sense of defame,
Go ahead.
slander,
Yeah.
misrepresent,
Go ahead.
so as to hold up to or expose to ridicule or calumny.
That's all he have left to do. It's to lie on the men of the Lord, bring them before judges, say they said this with the deep fake and all that, you know, the AI and different things like that. Read that again. The only advice Satan have left to do is traduce us. He got nothing else, man. Because at the end of the day, we as, like, you know, walking in the ways of YAHAWASHI, we are found blameless too, man. He can't really bring nothing against us, because all we've been doing was reading the Bible.
Yeah.
Right.
Technically.
Hey.
So what laws we broke?
and in court, it's not what you know.
Yeah, what you can prove. But then he gonna throw that out the
Throw it
window
yeah.
and just be like, oh, there's them. So he's trying to make
Yeah,
a way.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna give him the AI, the deep fake. Go ahead out.
Yeah.
Finish.
If I could say what it say, for I suppose that the Lord has set us up apostles last to be what, a spectacle.
Oh, yep.
It says scorn or disgrace from the notion of to lead along as a spectacle.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that traduce is heavy. I did a lesson on that. I ran into that word. I was blown away, man. All right. Which, you know, of course, it goes into other words in the scriptures, but for the most part, that's a heavy word, man.
Yes.
They gonna do everything under the sun to say we did this and did that. Y'all just be bold and come get us. Ain't y'all the kings of the earth? When we the kings of the earth, we coming directly to y'all.
Right.
Whenever y'all break a law, whatever it is, man.
Yeah, exactly. But he got to snake his way.
He got a snake.
He got to lie. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you know he guilty. That's how you know he already done lost.
He lost.
When two people fighting and then one person got a scratch and you know and claw and you gotta do extra shit. That means you lost, bro.
You gotta have spies and agents. You gotta pay guys.
Yeah.
Do all this.
You lost, man. That means you lost at that point, man. So hey, it's all good. The scriptures say what they say. The scriptures say, the accuser of thy brethren, man. Day and night. This man really gonna have like fucking hit pieces out on the news about us.
Yes, bro.
You know, like how it was with 9/11 and shit like that.
Yep.
When they was just putting that shit on the media 24/7.
Yeah.
They gonna have all type of deep faking shit with brothers' faces. You know, saying shit we ain't say. We did some shit we ain't really do. You know, people coming out of the woodwork saying we did some shit we ain't do. We already know what time it is, man. The Lord said, blessed are you when men shall revile you and persecute you, shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great was your reward in heaven. That's what the Bible says, man. We already know y'all gonna do this shit because y'all did the same thing to YAHAWASHI. All right? The man ain't do nothing to nobody. All he did was rebuke you because you was being wicked. Okay? All right? And performing miracles. What did he do wrong? He didn't steal from nobody. You know, he ain't hurt nobody. If anything, he was doing good to people, man. You know, people was blind, he was giving them their sight back.
Yes.
People was deaf, he was giving them their hearing back. People couldn't speak, he was giving them their ability to speak back. People who was maimed and disfigured, had all type of infirmities and diseases, he was healing them, man. They had a problem with that. Oh, he must got a devil. That's how he performing the miracles. You know? So the same way they did YAHAWASHI, they vilified him. They made it seem like he was just this horrible person. That's the same way they're gonna do us, man. The servant is not greater than the Lord, but at the end of the day, Yahweh is the word of YAHAWASHI. The fact that we speaking out of this word and we ain't coming out of our own mind and mouth and we doing everything according to the script, that's what justifies us, man. Okay? And the actions of the wicked will condemn them, man. And they're gonna have to face the music when the fire and brimstone start touching that flesh. You're gonna have to face the fucking music, man. All right, because at the end of the day, no matter what Esau does, he's still going into slavery for 1,000 years. So what's up?
Yeah,
that's not gonna change nothing. America's still gonna be destroyed. You know, the armies of the heathens still gonna be destroyed. It's the new world order is going up in smoke. It don't matter what the fuck you do.
Even towards us, because the Lord says gonna lift up a standard anyways.
Yeah.
All right. So even when he do collude against us or bring his deflake, his vices,
Yeah.
the Lord gonna lift a standard up for
Right.
us, man. So you either way it go, you lose, man.
Right.
And then you wrestling with a man you supposed to have oppressed, man.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, like why are you coming at me? Like
Yeah.
you already won. Like
You already got the victory. You supposedly, right?
yeah, you already
Allegedly.
you already run the world. Like what's the big deal?
This
You know?
Psalms 37:7. Rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Right? Fret not thyself because of him who prospered in his way,
Yeah.
because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass.
Right. You know, so we gotta really work and through the spirit of may the Lord bless us with great composure too, man. You know, when this shit really starts going down, man, because hey, the Lord, we can't fret, we can't become hasty and start making carnal decisions, man. You know, we gotta wait on the Lord to understand, hey, this is the will of the Lord being done. We've suffered for righteousness' sake. The wicked gonna do what they do. You know, may the Lord keep the spirit upon us to endure. Because at the end of the day, if we keep the faith, we won.
Come on, bro.
If we keep the faith, we won.
That's it.
That's it.
Right.
Like, so focus on, may the Lord give us the spirit to focus on that. You know, and like the brother said, the Lord gonna lift up a standard, and so the Lord gonna do things to boost brothers' faith too. You know, they might have you cornered, you know what I'm saying, and whatever. You know, you might be feeling anxious, whatever happens, who knows? And you call upon the name of the Lord, you just disappear.
That's right. I got it, bro.
You know?
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
It's for you, brother. It's second Ezra chapter 16, verse 74 through 76. It says, "Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same." And it said the same thing in Jeremiah 32.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Anything 12:1, right? That's right, bro. Verse 75. "Be ye not afraid, neither doubt." That's built up on your most high holy faith.
Yeah.
All right, because the brother, going back to what the brother read earlier, 2/3 going to be in confusion and in doubt. But that doesn't apply to us,
Yeah.
because what we're going through right now is like the preliminary stages for the time of persecution. We're going in Jacob trouble with confidence,
Yeah.
with faith. All right, for your help. Well,
let me just back you up. It says, I think in Revelation 2:3-10, and Yahushua speaking, be faithful unto death, and I shall give thee a crown of life. So you got to go all the way. If it's your lot to be a martyr, the word martyrdom goes into a torture prison. So if it's your lot to be a martyr, you got to go all the way. If it's your lot to escape a certain peril and be delivered, you got to, like Apostle Paul said, I fought the good fight, therefore a crown of life is laid up for me. It says in second Ezra, those that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Yep. Romans 11, it says, I reserved 7,000 men that have not bowed to the image of Baal. So it's getting down to that point. You got it down.
And even in the same chapter, like you was going to earlier, it says those that consent and you give over to this, you bow down to this system, he said you're gonna be stepped on. So Esau gonna step on you, take the
lose situation.
lose situation. Tennessee up, worship the image of the beast. Esau gonna step. The Lord gonna use Esau to step on you, like you said, according to Isaiah 10:5.
Yeah.
Over Syria and robbed my name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrath of the Lord's gonna be on Esau, Edom, to try your ass down.
Yeah, man. You know, a lot of you individuals looking for a back door. You know, all these prophecies coming to pass. A lot of you niggas that fell out. A lot of you leaders out there in Israel that then sold out secretly and shit. You know, trying to act like you holier than thou and shit. Y'all really think Esau gonna let y'all walk into this new world order with your fringes on? No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You're gonna take this shit.
501c3.
Yeah, you gonna they gonna put the 501c3 under your skin, nigga.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Reparations and everything, bro.
Yeah. You know, they ain't gonna just have these niggas walking around.
Yes.
You know, you sell out Israelites out here walking around with claiming Israel with fringes on. No, they gonna make you completely and utterly you know, go over to the other side, man. Like you gonna have to they gonna make you niggas, a lot of you niggas gonna end up publicly denouncing your faith, man. Just being straight up, man. All you fake pseudo Israelites, you know, that's been mocking and everything like that. Y'all think y'all gonna stand stiff? No. Y'all gonna take the chip. A lot of y'all gonna take the chip and y'all gonna publicly denounce y'all faith, man. Because y'all been playing games the whole time. Now the Lord's getting ready to expose you, man. Okay? It's that serious, man.
Right, bro.
You got more? I know brothers have precepts.
I have one. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Woe or destruction unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahawah.
Here's 16.
It's 16. It says, therefore the Lord Yahawah, the power of hosts, the Lord thus said, wailing shall be in all streets, and they shall say in all the highways, alas, alas, and they shall call the husbandmen to mourning, and such as are skillful of lamentation to wailing. And ultimately, that's what the Lord is setting the scene for. Like it says in Isaiah, the 24th chapter, the city of confusion is broken down. When you go into that in the NLT, it says, gladness is banished from the land. So we're coming to the point in time where, like the brother's going into, you're going to have 15-minute cities, you're going to have checkpoints, you're going to have drones flying overhead. Anyone that doesn't and hasn't complied with Revelation 13 and 16, they're going to be hunted down and trodden down in the streets. It says that, and all vineyards shall be wailing.
They literally have things y'all can put in the chat. You got robots that are actually walking around on the streets now that be at baseball games, football games.
The nigga named Jake too.
The robot's name is Jay?
Jake.
What? Bro,
What's that, dog?
bro,
They walking up to you, Jakes too.
damn, they about to strap a gun on him, bro. They about to start blowing Jake away.
Right, bro.
Yes, it says, for I will pass through thee, said the Lord. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahawah. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, and that's destruction. So the Lord is setting a dark cloud over America specifically for that great scene of judgment of taking that prophecy of being Babylon the Great in the scriptures, that whore that sitteth upon many waters. So before that, you seeing all hell break loose on American streets. You're gonna see uproars of the people. The word civil goes into citizen. You're gonna have civil wars. A war on every level, Egyptian versus Egyptian. It says in 2nd Ezra 13th chapter, you're gonna have people versus people, place versus place, and realm versus realm. Esau Edom has what? SpaceX. He has he was given his blessings through the heavens, so he's used that in wickedness to go up against the Most High. So it's coming all down to where our power is going to take the nations of the earths and their militaries under his control. The Lord is Sabaoth. So it says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, calamity after calamity, or went into the house and laid his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. And it says in Jeremiah that the Lord's judgment fills the earth. Pretty much who can hide themselves in a secret place. So no matter where you're at, if you're here in America, you're supposed to be here. If you're across the four corners of the earth, you're still gonna meet the Lord's judgment wherever you're at. So it says, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? You got it.
That's right. So, hey, man. Hey, like, if we open up the video, man. Hey, Jacob's trouble. Hey, we either very close to it or here. You know, really. You know, and it's only gonna get worse at the end of the day, man. It's only gonna get worse, man, and it's gonna culminate with the destruction of this current kingdom society, man. So buckle up. Bottom line is buckle up. Somebody get that Ezekiel? No, that was Ezekiel. We didn't touch that one there.
33.
Yeah.
This is Ezekiel 33, verse 1. Again, the word of Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head.
That's right. And so the watchmen have been out there warning you the whole time. If you ain't been getting with the program, when the judgments start coming, you're gonna die. Okay, that's what the scripture's talking. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 5. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul.
Right. He that taketh warning shall deliver his soul, man. Yeah, you Israelites ain't been taking warning, man. Majority of you have not been taking warning. You've spent time scoffing and trying to undermine the message. Okay, trying to remix the message, trying to, outshine Great Millstone. We're not even about trying to shine. We're just telling you what the scriptures say. We're going into the news, the articles, what you call them, the different executive orders, and showing you this is what is going to fuck down. But because everybody just has a hard on to just hate Great Millstone, you got to speak against it. That means that you're not giving heed to the warning, which means that you're gonna die.
That's right.
That's what that means. Okay, it doesn't mean that at the last minute you're gonna get it together. No, that's how that means. It means that when the judgments come, you're gonna be put to death. All right, so it's best to get your act together now. Get it together, man, because things are moving quick. Faster and faster by the day, man. But I mean, the amount of stuff brothers brought out in the past week. I mean, it's like every day, like it's some new. Wow, it's
Yes.
Like, are we going to work tomorrow? Like, do I, shit? Do I?
Yeah.
Should I? Will we going to camp Saturday? I'm not sure. I don't know. it's like that right now, man. Are we going to camp? Are we going to camp Saturday? Like, I'm not sure.
That's top. We didn't even know who was gonna be able to make it all right.
And to top it all off,
Should I pay my rent? So
that's what they say when Iran was
yeah.
somebody came up said, pay my rent before he gonna strike Iran. But you got a big nuclear bomb that's about to drop today. They probably signed it at 12:01. They approved that bill. It's on Trump desk.
Yeah.
So when he signed it, it's all in that beautiful,
Big, beautiful.
bill. They playing with you, black man. You call it a big, beautiful bill. When it's this ugliest for our people it could possibly get.
Right.
Man.
Yep.
You see? It's a mockery, man. We're mocked, right? And Zephaniah said in the land where we was mocked at, that's where we're gonna get our fame at. Man.
Yeah.
Zephaniah 3:19.
Yeah. Well, we going because what this devil doing, when Trump signed that bill and it goes into effect, we gonna see the devil,
Yeah.
how it comes into play, man. We gonna see
man.
we gonna see these devils numbers.
And like the brother said, they playing with the people's minds, but it's gonna be the real deal. Because these T attacks, millions of people are gonna die. So this gonna be the real deal.
Yeah.
Much as he's playing, with the minds of the people,
Mm.
toying with them,
Yeah.
rocking them to sleep, waking them up, rocking it back to sleep. T attacks happen. Millions of people are gonna die.
Yeah.
And we the prophets are telling you, thus said the Bible, this is gonna happen.
And he's signing it on so-called
Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it's all a game, man.
That's a major event today.
Right?
Yes.
It's all a game, man. What you got as a fun?
You got certain guys that's over here, the sleeper cells, they're saying, yeah, they just waiting on that call, man. To wreak havoc. And that goes into to tell you how those caterpillars come are set over here to eat up. That's what caterpillars do to crops,
Yeah.
to vegetation, to eat up everything. And that's what those different sleeper cells that got over when Biden was in office. They came from Pakistan. They came from all these different countries. Russia. They had all types of shit coming out. How the Russians was coming through Darien Gap.
Mm-hmm.
All right, straight up into Arizona and New Mexico, man, getting over here, and they hear the call that, and they just waiting on that call. You Americans out there, you Jacob, that are not prepared to see men. And what the girl name is, Sarah Adams.
Yes.
It said you're not prepared to see men with these different vests on. You know what vests I'm talking about? Just walk up into a mall or something and let it off, man.
Yep.
You're not ready for 20 men this bum rush and ambush police stations and shit.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yep. Now's not also another thing too. Now's not a good time to be out and about on bullshit.
That too.
Out there at the club scene, at the party scene.
Oh,
Right. This is not the time for that because niggas. Hey, it's about to get blood, bro. It's gonna be people just going up in the crowds, setting off bombs, shooting shit up. That spirit is done. That mirth spirit, going out into the bar and get a drink. Forget about that, man.
Hey, guess what? I think those girls said a lot of them gonna have LMG. Go look up what the LMG is, man. You YN ain't ready to rump with one of them. All right? You ain't ready to rump with them Benjamin say rump.
Rump.
Yeah, rump with them.
Yes, bro.
Them LMGs, them sleeper cells gonna vaporize you niggas on contact.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Look at what the LMG is, man. Them boys ready, locked and loaded.
Yeah, now's the time to you wake up, you pray, you know what I'm saying? You watch your videos, you read whatever your routine is, you know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do, go to work,
drink your coffee,
you know what I'm saying?
all that shit.
And then when you're done, take your black ass home, bro.
Yeah.
This is the time we are in. Like, it's so serious, bro.
That happened on 9/11. People just going, living out their lives. 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, go get your coffee, your bagels, and everything like this, and then bam, out of nowhere.
Lives change.
Right.
Life changed forever.
Man, bro, this is not the time to be out and about and mingling and mixing, and you want to be chasing after the women or on the party scene. This is not the time for that bullshit, man. You want to be around your worldly family. This is not the time for that, bro.
Yes.
It's time for locking with the brothers, man.
They
Watch
want
the
to be booed
videos.
up.
Go ahead, brother. Salak.
Well, they want to be booed up, holding hands on the riverfront with their boot.
Right.
Sharing a drink with 2 straws.
Yeah.
The twist.
Yeah. With the little lemons, with they got a little pineapple slice. This is not the time for that shit, bro.
Butt zooming right on these shit.
Oh, the time.
Oh, inside joke.
Tripping.
You laying on the ground with the wooden basket net with all the you have a picnic with the frog, man. In the grass.
Land on your stomach.
Stay away from large crowds if you can.
On that movie, that movie Bushwick.
You seen Bush?
Walking, kind
Nah.
Oh man.
you got to watch that.
Jesus trouble with that shit.
That would take the trouble. Yes, bro. I'm talking about immediately when it come on.
The first 2 seconds of the movie, it's going down. They didn't get to even do the title, Bushwick.
Somebody just on fire. If somebody just was on fire, man, it was on fire, man. It never went down.
It never stopped going down. You know?
That's how it's gonna be.
That's how it's gonna be.
Bro, that's where we are, bro.
Quick precept.
Go ahead, bro.
This Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 11. Rise up, be times, and be not the last, but get thee home without delay.
Right. Being out late, all hours of the night and shit. You know, that is nice. This is not the time. This is not the time for that shit, bro. Being around large crowds, being around drunkenness and revelry is not the time, man. Get what you gotta get and get the fuck out, man.
Pop in, pop out.
Pop in, pop out. People know. Oh yeah, you after work you want to go to the bar? No.
Yeah, the boy from Martin.
No.
You know?
Okay. Want to meet up and hang out? No.
The white boy name was.
Oh yeah, the tall slim white. Yeah.
You like that? He out there like that, man.
Right.
Right. People don't even know what you believe in. You know?
Got it.
You don't need to be trying to get uber deep with people. Fuck it, man. This is about incognito mode right now, man.
See what the GNT NLT say.
Real talk, man. Yeah.
That's right. Great man.
Off the radar, man.
Yeah. Unnecessary connections with people in the world. Fuck all that.
That's gonna be vital in that time because basically that could be a life, you know, what you're saying and mingling with certain people, man, that could be life or death, you know.
Yes.
That one. Ephesians, it's like
Yeah, this Luke 17 and 31. It says, in that day, and it's in red letters, YAHAWASHI speaking, in that day he which shall be upon the housetop and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away, and he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back.
That's right. And it's stuff, it's gonna tell you, the brother gonna go into it, what that word stuff mean. Right?
The Strong's G4632. This the word stuff is skills in the Greek, a vessel, an implement, so like
You order stronger concordance. It's to the usefulness.
it says a vessel, implement, equipment, or apparatus, literally or figuratively, especially a wife, as contributing to the usefulness of the husband.
So that's a good so-called decent woman that basically she you know she's happy to see you and she help you out. Hey, when they go down that day, you better even go back for that for a woman like that in that day, man. Don't go down for your stuff. Because you have a lot of people, especially you Jakes out there, you gonna try to be like Lot's wife, man. You know you gonna have a longing. What it is? I'm telling my tongue, man.
Start reminiscing of shit.
Yeah. Reminiscing shit, man.
Yeah, wanting to go back and salvage, you know, what you have in Babylon. That's not the spirit to be in, man.
That's right.
You know,
Die.
that's not you gonna end up being you. Yeah, the Lord can kill your ass, man.
Yeah, to bring that again.
You gotta be willing to let it all go, but it's off, man.
Yeah, you gotta let all that shit go. If you over here, you on the north side of Fort Lauderdale, and your stuff, your woman, whatever, is on the east side or south side. Hey, you better not go. You know, Jake can do that shit, man.
Yeah. Hey, on that movie Heat, y'all can learn. He hadn't got away. He hadn't killed and got away with everything, and he was on the highway scot free. Him and his girl was on the way, you know, scot free to get away. And he thought about one guy that was left that he didn't kill. He made that U-turn in Miller Street and went back, killed him, and then he ended up getting killed.
That movie with Forrest Whitaker when he went back to get his son.
Yeah,
and he died.
Yep.
All of them, Troy, the movie Troy, he went back to go save his damn broad, man, and got killed. You know,
I mean, always do movie.
I got this in that in the Forever Purge.
Yeah.
Jake was like, look, we gotta keep moving. We got gunfighting. I gotta go.
This is
I gotta go halfway across town to get my wife and kids, and that's the last thing time you ever saw him in the movie.
This is how it ends. Before we went,
Right.
he went to save his son,
Yep.
and then he died.
Yep.
Oh, with the movie when all the cataclysmic events was happening at one time.
That's
2012.
This is how.
That would end.
2012. I think he went back to get his son. When he was like the geographer or something like this called
Yeah.
2012. When it was a bunch of like
Yeah,
hurricanes,
events take-
cataclysmic events happening at one time, earthquakes.
Oh, the day after tomorrow.
No, one day it was 2012.
Yeah.
Called 2012, but those was events going back and forth. You know that destruction of the earth, tempest and everything, and come back, man.
I'm reading it. And I'll see real quick. It says, on that day, a person out on the deck of a roof must not go down into the house to pack. A person out in the field must not return home.
That's probably
All right. Hey, more precepts?
I got one.
Yeah, quick one.
Okay.
Sirach 27:12. If thou be among the indiscreet, observe the time, but be continually among men of understanding.
Right. Now it's the time to be more and more around the brotherhood, man. You know, chopping it up, breaking bread to, you know, of course we all got things that we got to tend to. But as much as you can be around the occupant, just really lock in the spirit, man. Cut out as many distractions as possible. Okay? Because, you know, Yahawashi said, man, you know, being caught up with the cares of this life and surfeiting and drunkenness, that's how the majority of the people outside of the circle gonna get got. You know? By just being in that lackadaisical spirit, man, being just having a mind that's distracted and focused on other things, man, things that really ultimately don't matter. You know, so you want to be around the brotherhood, or you want to be as close to the fire as possible. You know,
Yeah, I have one. This is a second Ezra 16 and 40.
That's what I got right.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother. You got it.
Mhm.
No, go.
Second Ezra 16 and 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth, keeping it moving. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth is one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein.
right? Be ready to lose. Be ready to give it up. To not be able to have it. Hey,
Lose it all, man.
lose it all. You know?
Yeah.
And the scripture, Yahushua said, man, whosoever forsaketh these things shall but receive 100-fold, man. You know, we have to have that mentality to lose it, lose connections with people in the world, family members, your wife, you know, your children. You know, if these things are put on the altar, you know, it's either the Lord or it or them. You got to choose the Lord, man. You know, can't be overly attached to material possessions or whatever status quo routine that you have. You got to be willing to have that shit broken. You know, breaking the status quo, breaking the normal rhythm of your day to day. You know, because a lot of people are going to be offended and caught up trying to maintain and wishing for a sense of normalcy, man. You know, but bro,
Keeps going. Further backing up your point. 43. He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children.
right. So you might have a little something going for yourself or whatever. You got to be ready to be like, hey, fuck it. You know, might have met a little your new boo or something. You know, or you got a wife and kids. Your mind can't be so set on it. Granted, you got to do your duty as a wife or a husband, a father or mother, but your mind can't really fully be set on that entirely. You know, all wrapped up into it. It won't work. Not in the times that we're living in now. The scriptures say, those that have wives be as though they had none. Okay, even Apostle Paul said that for the present distress, it's better that you remain alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got little attachments. You know, you can just minimize, you know, the different things that can tether you to the cares of this world, man.
And
You know?
it says that. And they that marry not, you're not dealing with anything at the moment, as the widowers, as if you already lost.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Wow.
Then tell you in 1 Corinthians 7 that he that had a wife carried for the things of how he may please the world or his wife.
Yeah.
But he that didn't care how he may please the Lord.
Yeah.
Because that be, that's what he's married into. But that basically was Paul, putting an advice out like, look, that's an attachment that you may not be able to break away from. But it also says in Sirach, don't give nothing power over you while you living, man. All right, but the scriptures, the Lord dealing with you, man. He gonna allow you to overcome, man.
Yeah,
no matter what it is,
Yep. Yeah.
He's gonna allow you to overcome. But
Hey,
yes,
then ultimately you're gonna lose it because in that same chapter that he's reading, it speaks about they shall spoil the goods during the great insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, you're gonna lose it anyway.
Right.
With alphabet boys, they come in to get it anyway.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They seize everything and all your assets and everything. They take it away from you.
Jake don't got nothing.
They don't have,
Jake don't got nothing.
and then ultimately it's gonna get burnt up by the nuclear fire. Anyway.
Missiles,
Jake
yeah.
don't got nothing.
So what are you holding on to?
Right. Exactly. Right.
The little thing that
We don't got
you
it.
do have is nothing anyway.
Right.
No, they make the movie Leave the World Behind. We've already done that already.
Right. Exactly. Hey, and hey, it's good to be in that mentality too, man. Be in the spirit willing to lose it, man. The Lord's gonna show out for us, man. Too, man. I want to put that spirit out there too. Somebody get Isaiah 65. My servant shall eat, drink, and rejoice. The Lord said if you lose or forsake such and such things, you're gonna receive 100-fold, man. So
Matthew 19.
yeah, get that, man. So the Lord gonna have brothers in good positions too now. But you gotta be willing to lose and put what you have on the line, for the Lord's sake first before he does that.
Right.
There's a lesson years ago, going into the straight gate is the breeding ground for miracles. Brothers want miracles, want the Lord to do this and that. Well, we got to go through the straight gate so the Lord can work, so he can show his power, like the brother was saying. What's the point of the Lord saving you? You ain't going through nothing. What's the Lord perform a miracle if you ain't in dire straits?
You need
Go ahead. Whoever got it.
That's about. I mean, I got Isaiah 65.
Isaiah, okay, check it out.
This is Isaiah 65, and I start at 12. It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore, thus say Yahweh thy power, behold, my servant shall eat, and ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
That's right. Okay. So all of you that rejected the message of YAHAWASHI, you're going to be destroyed, man. Okay. But the Lord's servants, those that were seeking him while he may be found, the Lord's going to feed them and make sure they're sustained. Their loved ones who believe and help hold it down, be sustained. All right. Etc. man. And rejoice too. The Lord gonna have us in positions where we're able to rejoice in these times, man. So it's not just all bad, The Lord gonna have us in situations where we turn it up, watching the world go up in flames, go to hell in a handbasket. So as the saying goes. Okay.
I got one more verse.
Yeah.
Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart. Because they're gonna be in a good case, man.
Yeah. A lot of these people buying bunkers and shit and stocking up on food. The Lord gonna kill a lot of them and make sure that we eat.
That's right.
There's some, the troops coming trying to break into your home. The Lord just teleport you somewhere.
That happened on the road,
That's it, bro.
Yeah.
The road.
I'm not a movie buff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not even. And then,
I hope you know none of that.
father and son was able to go to the house of these different houses. People had food and supplies laid up, and they were able to go down there and eat.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of those people they didn't get to use it, utilize none of that shit.
Untouched.
Yeah, it was untouched.
Mhm.
That's gonna happen for the men of the Lord. Those miracles, them same miracles that happened in times past of the what is the raven coming giving food to men of the
Yeah,
Lord. That's
yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right? And whatever form of that, because the Lord could do whatever he want to do, whatever form of that happening like that miracle is gonna happen again.
Yeah.
You know? And it's gonna be seen. All right, it's gonna be seen before all, man. That's why the scripture said, then it should be known who of my chosen. It's gonna be very well known, without a shadow of a doubt, this man here is a man of the Lord in that day. All right? You're gonna see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
It said, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart. It shall howl for vexation of spirit.
Yeah. Yeah. So the rest of you people outside of the circle are fucked. Okay. All right. Hey, so hey, the water YAHAWASHI for being within the circle, baby. Stay in the circle. You know, these things are gonna get good for brothers too, man. Isaiah 4:1 is a thing. You know, the Lord having brothers perform different miracles. You know, that's good. That's gonna be part of the knowing that the Lord is with brothers too, man. The brothers performing miracles, healing people, or you know, multiplying food for people, protecting people from Esau. You know, like the scriptures say, how you know those that are feeble in that day shall in that day be as David. Okay. All right, so you're gonna have certain brothers with spiritual power that the Lord used to fight against these troops, man, and protect different people, man. You know, protect different members of the elect. It's in the scriptures. It happened before. We believe it's gonna happen again. Okay.
Yeah. Sit.
I know.
This one.
It was Isaiah. That Matthew 19. Somebody got Matthew?
Yes, I had.
Yeah.
That's right. The book of Matthew, chapter 19. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 28. It says, Yahawah said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, for the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory. Ye also shall sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive an hundredfold, and shall inherit everlasting life.
That's right. Okay. So we got to be willing to lose to win. Okay. All right. And a lot of these blessings the Lord's gonna give us in these times, like like we're talking about the bunkers, people stocking up on food. The Lord won't have brothers take that shit, man. You know, them motherfuckers gonna die in Jacob's trouble or in the wars, and then the Lord have us be up in there eating with our families, protected from all the chaos that's going outside, man. You know, so but just trust me, how about YAHAWASHI? Okay, just trust me, how about YAHAWASHI concerning the times we coming into. Don't I should say be not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your God.
That's right.
Okay.
That's what I was reading earlier.
Oh,
In 16.
yeah. Second, you want to bring that up back again? Okay.
Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse that's 74. 16 and 74. So it's like 75. It says, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for YAHAWASHI is your God, and the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord power. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
Right. Okay. So the Lord said, don't be afraid, neither doubt. So the whole point, what we got to be mainly focused on is keeping the faith. All right. And the Lord is going to do what he said again. All right. So, hey, with that, we're on this video. Is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham.
double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and salutations to the elect. Kwame Shalawam.
Shalawam, Shalawam.
Shalawam.
I won't do it. To who?
Okay.